Welcome to a new Should You Summon video with Nelliel Tu Odelschwank. And if you didn't know her full name, which you need to know, then you have to drop me a like right now. Because clearly, I am more of a lore master than you are. Jokes aside, welcome to a new video here. Usually what I do, if you haven't seen any of my Should You Summon video prior to this, what I do is I do a disclaimer, right? Where I tell people that if this is your favorite character, you should summon. And if the gameplay is fun, you should summon. Because in the end, it's all about fun. But the thing is, we have also to consider the side that people are free to play. And at most low spenders, right? Because if you're a whale or if you're spending, then, well, go for it. Why are you watching me, right? I mean, this video specifically, if you want to watch me, go ahead. But I mean this video specifically because there is no real value for you. You're going to summon anyways, right? But the thing is, I usually do the disclaimers because I think it's important to mention this in every single video. As that's what's about, right? Games are about fun, and if you have a favorite character, which usually you do in an anime IP gacha game, then you should definitely save for that character, right? But now we are a few characters into the game, and we can see trends. And that's why I have two big reasons why I'm not going to provide the disclaimer this time around. And I just realized, get your head out of the gutter. No, it's not because of that. I mean this seriously. Oh god. Word, verbiage, outro, please. Anyways, the main issue that we have right now, right, and this is a trend throughout all the characters that have ailment are bugs. It started, he was the biggest offender of this. His whole kit had needed to be reworked basically, because it didn't really work. And we had minor things with Gin, but it wasn't really, people didn't even notice that something was wrong with him. And Toshiro and Rukia were technically also affected by it because the freeze was, in the beta, was ailment mechanic. For whatever reason, they changed it around on release, and now it's not an ailment anymore. It doesn't even count as an ailment. But it counts as an ongoing debuff, which is kind of weird, right? So the thing with freeze is it just lasts for 1 second, so it's really tough to even benefit from this, because one thing that it's coded wrongly when it comes to ailments is that the application of the ailment in itself, so impale skill, doesn't count as a debuff. So there is a lot going on at the moment, which the devs seem to kinda have an issue with programming or coding properly, so that it works. Now, when it comes to Nelliel specifically, when it comes to should you summon for her, it's not that much about performance, right? Because the thing is, performance can always be altered, it can always be buffed, and the devs have already shown the ability to buff characters that they feel are underperforming. Even though they need the approval of Shueisha, but that's, if we are loud enough, they will be able to do this. Now, when it comes to Ailment Master, and I'm not going into this here, I have a separate video for this. Ailment Master currently, if you're watching this on the 24th of February, is bugged. It isn't Ailment Mastery, it's working as ailment damage. Now, the thing is, gacha games usually come in cycle, right? We had two burst characters with Toshiro and Banka Ichigo, which are basically crit damage, crit rate, attack, and then so forth and so on. We had also Aizen, who worked the same way. He also provided a lot of buffs, just giving direct damage ups. And then we started to shift over to ailment-based characters, right? So this cycle always happens. These are these meta shifts that you kinda feel like you have to go for, and then they implement bosses. Like, I think it was it Noitora? One of the Arankars, I think it was in Espada, has a Hierro, which gives him a harder defense, and you can break it with ailment damage, right? So there is always this kind of shifts around, but that's why I never consider meta when I give these kind of recommendations. It's all about fun and how useful it is to a free-to-play account, right? But the thing also is that when it comes to Nelliel, just her animations alone are fantastic, right? Her animations alone are great. And devs really show a lot of love for the characters too, because in cases like, for example, this one where you have Ichigo's in there, she has a specific voice line to it too, right? Let me add another Ichigo just to make this full. Let's add Ichika Ichigo, right? So that she can also activate her Zero Syncretico. Now, when I switch around, listen closely. There you go. And it's freaking adorable, right? It's freaking cute too. And Nelliel and Ichigo have a bond, and which gives Ichigo Kurosaki basically about a 30% attack increase from what I've seen. So yes, she has value outside of her teams and stuff, because even though you take a major performance hit, if you really want to run Ichigos with Nelliel, you can, thanks to this. And this is awesome, right? And I'm not going into leaks and what typing she should have been and so forth and so on. It's because the what is the fact that she is thrust, and that's what we have to deal with. Also, her animations are great, right? She has a really great animation. Her gameplay is really fun too. But the problem with her gameplay is also that she really wants to be on the field, which in cases of thrust, you already have another character who wants to do this, right? So the main reason is, if you want to pull for her, and she's ailment based, which currently have a lot of issues, right? And we have to assume from what we have people data mined in the files already, which is implemented into the game, is that the next character is ailment based too. Also, Kisuke is a big supporter, and I highly doubt that they're going to bring out a supporter who overshadows him in his niche, right? Which is crit damage increases and straight up buffs. So we should assume that the next big premium supporter will be ailment based too. Now, why is this an issue? If they cannot code this properly, right? All issues aside, if ailment is going always to be a buggy mess, and it takes us a week or two to even get the character in a playable state, or in a state that it's bug free, which we should have technically, it's just not worth summoning for. Especially now that it is a free to play where you have tight resources, right? On my free to play account, my banner here is at 270 at level 58, I think. I still have a lot to do. I can guarantee myself the 300 banner part, right? But still, I don't have much. I have a Eisen. And especially with these rerun banners, by the way, if you have a premium character here and you have a rerun banner and you're missing Eisen, you're going for Eisen. If you are a fan of Banka Ichigo, which a lot of people are, they're going for Banka Ichigo. They maybe don't have the resources to go for Nelliel, right? And this leads me into the second problem. We are 2 months away from a half-year anniversary. Now, do we know for a fact that they are going to have a premium unit just for the half year? We don't know, right? There have been rare gachas that didn't do any half-year celebration. Is this one of those? Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. The publisher on Chinese side is Nuverse, and for those that don't know Nuverse, they are the publisher. I don't know if they're the devs for Marvel Snap, but they're at least the publisher for it. And they usually do half-year anniversaries for their characters and for their games, right? So what this means for Bleach is, we also know from the devs themselves that Vastolorde Ichigo is coming. Maybe as a anniversary unit, and maybe they do Ulquiorra as the half-year anniversary unit. We don't know, but because of it, and because of the resource constraints, we have to save, right? Because usually half-year anniversaries, full-year anniversaries, there's the next big power gap. And if you are free-to-play and you're working at B0 levels, B1 levels at most, then you really want to push for the next power gap as soon as possible. And also because of the reruns, if you're being honest, by the time that she reruns, maybe all the issues with ailment are being solved and we have a proper ailment supporter. Maybe we have more options for her to slot in, and this gives her on the rerun more value than she has right now. And that's why I would highly recommend to skip her. If she's not your favorite character, and if you really feel like you don't want to miss out on her, right? That's basically it. She's great, she plays well, her performance, I think it's a little bit A lot of people jump the gun there because the set stamps aren't as nearly as good as they have put into Tozen, for example. And the fact is that most people comparing Tozen to her is on a B1, B2 level, which adds quite a lot of power to Tozen. And yes, like I said, bugs happens and stuff like that, but she's still enjoyable, she's still super fun. And when it comes to her, by the way, when it comes to performance, maybe because the trial tower is a little bit easier, but I did this part here with this team on stream, and it was fine. Byakuya was the biggest hurdle, so to speak, because of the last phase, but if you can overcome this feels really easy. I had a lot of people during the stream which even beat Aizen there. So it's not like she is bad by any means, right? She's great and the animations are fantastic. But because of all the things that I mentioned, I would still highly recommend skipping her. If you've pulled for her, of course, let me know down below how you like the character, because it's not wrong to pull for her. I don't think that there is a right or wrong in this case. I don't think there will be ever right or wrong when it comes to pulling for characters. I just think the timing is more of a question of the timing should be right or wrong, right? But with that said, thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next one. I hope this was helpful to you, and yeah, let's hope the next Aemon character isn't as buggy as this one. See ya, bye bye.